Welcome back to our evening tea. I'm Anila and this is Erin.
And today we will be talking about the creativity void in pop culture. So with expression going against marketing. And if you have anything to add to this topic that you want us to cover in future episodes, make sure to leave a comment below. We will see it and we will incorporate it. And with that, let's get into it. So, yeah, I think I do have a lot to say about this topic. I know you do too.
I do enjoy pop culture.
You enjoy pop culture a lot more than I do.
Yeah, but what I do not enjoy is the amount of stuff I don't know about anyone, but then like you see all these videos, like they smiled and there is a video about them. And that really gets me every single time I see something like that. I'm like, what the
Who
heck?
cares?
Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Stop talking about shit like that.
Yeah. I feel like you with pop culture, you like the output, not the gossip about it, but the
Catchiness.
Like you like the actual content.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe sometimes, not always. I sometimes don't even understand what they're talking about. I just find the music, for example, to be really catchy. And that's and you listen to it so much because it's marketed so heavily.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't really care. I guess I don't really have that much time to actually research about better creative or something that's of better value of my time than listening to just pop songs that are just people talking about their relationships. Or I do like sometimes love songs, like romantic songs or really sad songs a lot. Yeah, you remember when I used to listen to this sad song like a million times in repeat. But I don't like songs about a single person. I like songs about situations. Yeah.
Let's take it back one step to what was it you were saying? Oh, about the every smile they make, every look they give to someone else is like blasted in media as if it's like this huge deal. Is this I think that well, I know that's what you don't like, and I don't like it either. I think it's weird. But it's just like the catchiness of like the songs, for example, if we're talking about music, just like the catchiness of those songs is put out to people. I feel like that is also put out to people to the point where like they don't have the time either to research like better more soulful content. So what they see is that music, but they also see that about those people. So it's kind of like brainwashing.
Yeah.
The whole industry is
I'm not sure if it's that bad in the American pop culture, but in like Korean pop culture, it's like I go on YouTube and then you see like all these videos. Oh my god, he's so sweet. Okay, he's in front of camera, of course he's sweet.
Yeah.
Or she's sweet. What do you know, like behind the scenes? You know nothing. How they are.
I feel like that's what pop culture is. It's just a surface.
Yeah.
It's a surface presentation for money.
Yeah, and this thing like money all these grab. Like really strong opinionated songs,
Mm.
but it's not their opinion.
Yeah.
But it they show it like it's their opinion.
Just to fill our audience in case, because we talk about this all the time, but to fill you all in, if you don't know that most mainstream pop, the person you hear singing the song did not write the song, so they don't have those opinions
Make the music.
or make the music. It's usually they have a team of writers that writes this music, or they buy their agency buys the music from a writer and then gives it to the proper artist that can present it most.
There are
effectively.
exceptions to it.
There's exceptions. I mean, there's definitely pop groups that are that write their own stuff, but it's few and far between compared to the amount that
there's
have written
Taylor
for
Swift.
them. Yeah, she writes.
She writes and she writes, and I guess she's rightfully popular.
Yeah.
But like the amount of assumptions people make about pop people is like, it's not just about pop people, but about any celebrity. It's just like outrageous.
Yeah. I think the whole celebrity culture is strange.
Yeah.
Like, there should, like, you shouldn't be, I feel like work can be famous. Like, your things you've made should be famous for what they are, not the people that made them. Like, as if the person that should be held on this pedestal because they came up with or discovered this idea and presented it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, though, I guess I've never thought about this aspect of it, but they do, you know how we like, we hold on a pedestal people's like abilities or their work ethic, things like that. So that can be part of it. Like like this person is a really good singer and they work really hard, so I want to follow them. But then to take it to the extent of like caring about all their relationships and everything like that, that's like personal business. That's not. It's weird to put that in, and it's not like people are weird for getting into that. It's that the industry is weird for pushing that. Like the people pushing it are. Well, they get money from it. If they didn't get money, it'd be really weird. Yeah, exactly. Since you brought the money part, something I was thinking is like especially in like pop culture, it's not the value you put in the society; it's the amount of money you get from it. Is what makes them popular. It's not like it marketing.
doesn't matter what value they're putting. Like they can talk shit, but if they are like popular,
if they're getting
their
money from it,
then
they'll be pushed further, right?
Further and further for sometimes no reason.
That's in our topic title. Expression versus marketing, that's what it is. That's the marketing aspect. So then the expression aspect would be that what you're hearing, it's different. Like
I also feel bad for those celebrities sometimes. Like they get taken advantage of so much for marketing reasons. And I don't know, it might not be true for everyone, but most of the times I feel like their mental health gets affected by it. I don't know if they get enough time to deal with it, but I
mean they have to be good little boys and girls for their boss, or they get their career destroyed. Like they have to, you know, they usually sign on to that at a young age.
Most pop stars usually sign on to it at an young age. I don't know how like child labor is illegal, but child celebrities are legal.
With agencies. That's child labor. I guess it's a business, but it's definitely no. It's they can't enjoy their childhood if they're
Yeah.
like Disney stars.
Yeah.
They don't, and they grow up and usually have a big crisis
Uh-huh.
when they become of age because they can all of a sudden like they have this freedom
Uh-huh.
to think for themselves or see their peers thinking for themselves and they're still under their agency and they can't do anything that they
Yeah.
want.
Some kids actually like it, but it's also kind of it's like when you are that popular, you don't have the choice of saying, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like
It's your
in a
public
second, it
image.
doesn't like it's like it takes time to like wind down, even if you decide to stop taking newer things. But yeah, I feel like children are so not so developed. No matter how advanced they are, they're still children.
Yeah.
They can do things, but they should do it at a level where they have ability to say, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like contractual.
Yeah.
So children shouldn't be bound by contracts, to be honest.
Right.
Like,
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they sign thinking it's something and not knowing people lie.
Well, can they sign before they're of working age? Can they be on a contract like at 12 or 11?
I think so. I mean, guardians
Or-
sign.
Oh yeah, guardians sign for them.
Yeah, and guardians usually.
I guess then that's a question of do their parents have the right to raise their kids how they want? So that's really no one's business. But maybe the contract should expire when they become working age.
Yeah.
Guardianship over their contract. I don't know. We don't know how that all works.
Yeah, but I know in like K-pop you have I think it's like getting better now, but you have like strict like once you debut you have like really 7-year contract or things like that, and people debut at 14, 15, 16 and you're bound by the contract no matter what age you are.
Yeah.
Like if you're signed for 7 years, you have to do that 7 years, or else you have to be rich enough to be able to pay off the contract fees.
Yeah. I guess it's the same with like sports,
Mm-hmm.
which is also entertainment and pop culture. They have contracts. They can go pro in their early teens.
Yeah, it's also in sports. It's not about how good you are. It's about how much money you bring in or something like that.
Well, to an extent, I mean, for everyone that's at a certain level, yeah. Like if there's two players that are equally good and like one is popular, they're gonna hire the popular one because they want their club to make more viewing, more revenue. But it does matter how good you are because the top tier players, they'll get picked by someone. They bring in more money.
I was talking more about how female sports people get paid not at par with male counterparts, even if they're good.
Yeah, that's a tough topic because the way they make money is by ratings and ticket sales and all that. That's how the club makes money. So like, it's like as if.
But I heard even like, especially in the American women's soccer.
Yeah, the national team.
They apparently get more viewers.
Yeah, and that's that is definitely wrong. That they can. Like that's the whole point is that if they're making more money, they get paid more money. That's how the whole.
And
thing
I
works.
Also feel
and
like
women's teams are making more money, so they should get paid
it's
more
also
money.
not just about it's I feel I see that in Indian cricket teams too. The women's team they don't really have the popularity, but they also are not marketed at the same level as the men's team.
Yeah.
Even if men's team didn't win, they're still popular.
Yeah. Well, it's also so the way sports has worked, from what I've seen, is that each there's leagues which have money to market their league. That's based on how much that league is making, and individual teams have money to market their teams. It's like a growth thing. Like if I started a team today, right, with all the best players, somehow I would never get all the best players because I don't have money to hire them.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, so I started a team today, I'd be with all the worst players if I had no money, and I'd have to build that franchise over time. So yeah, it's like even if the men's team is doing worse, but they've been in the industry for longer and made more money over more time. They have more money to spend on marketing. Mm-hmm. So that's part of their expenditure is their marketing department.
Mm-hmm. I guess so.
Yeah. But then the weird thing is that when the women's team is bringing in more money and getting paid less, then it doesn't make sense. I don't get that.
Yeah.
It might have something to do with what I just said about the length of time that they've been in the game, because I don't know how long women's soccer has been versus men's soccer, at a national level in this country. So I don't know.
Yeah, and it's, I guess it's money.
It's all money.
Yeah, and
it's always money.
It's like who can bet on you.
Yeah.
On your future if it's on rich people's hands, if they decide to bet on you
and invest in you.
And invest in you, you can make it. So it's same in the music, there are really great musicians who actually care for the art, and dancers who actually love dancing and are really good at it. But people don't get picked because they cannot be marketed.
Yeah.
Which is really shitty. And the whole pop culture, the whole issues pop culture brings to teenagers, and even about teenagers, unless you're it's also confidence issues and a lot of other issues
from that. Self-image.
A lot of self-image issues, and they probably are struggling too.
The popular celebrities,
but it's never shown by the media. I feel like media needs to change.
Yeah.
And the marketing itself is such a bullshit. They lie, but in a legal way. Yeah.
How so? What do you mean?
So they have how on TV they show advertisements of something, and then after the advertisement they read this whole legal thing really fast.
Yeah.
They don't really want to spend time on it, but even though it's you can't even understand it, that's how fast they read. And it's unless I don't know, even if you care, you have to pause and then watch the advertisement. So they put this legal document after the advertisement, which sometimes nullifies what the advertisement is talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's legal because they said this, but they said it so fast, you don't even have, you can't hear it.
Yeah. It's a whole bunch of lies.
Yeah.
And to mix that marketing lie, the lie of advertisement, into creative expression
Uh-huh.
in terms of art
Uh-huh.
is like what's the word? It's like it's when something's so wrong. It's wrong. It's like wrong at the core. Like
Yeah.
creative expression should be first of all, like all the greatest artists of all time, they say you should create art not to sell it, but to express yourself, and the fact that it's like an industry, art is an industry, is terrible. But then again, money is required for everything, so if that's what they're doing, then they should get paid for it. So I guess that's more of a money problem. But to further remove us from the creative process, there's the whole industry of pushing fake art out and disguising it as real art for a money grab. It's terrible.
Yeah. The plagiarism. Plagiarism thing is like so weird too.
Copyright infringement?
Yeah.
With I think that's ridiculous. Like someone
You can literally take words from 10 different songs which are popular and put it in one song, but because you did not use the whole song, you don't get copyright infringement.
Does that work?
I think so.
Really? I know the way
I did hear that like there is a percentage that you can use without getting copyright.
It's like 30% or something.
Yeah.
You have to change it to a certain extent to use it. The thing I think is weird is that, like, if I have this great idea and it's like you're supposed to take inspiration from each other.
Yeah.
So like say I have a great idea on top of a song that I heard and it sounds a little bit like that, I could, if I don't change it the right amount, I could be sued essentially for copying someone's music. And a weirder thing is that like a lot of the musical space, like music, other art too, a lot of the artistic space in the universe is being taken up by fake stuff. So like then I guess then what we're left with is creating just to create. If you can't sell it, but it becomes so much harder though, like creating but not being able to live. True. You can't just. Who has the time to just sit around and really
and then
let out
they
their soul for free?
Market these people like 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000, 1 in million probability people, like one of those people who I like. It's at that point it doesn't feel like it's just hard work. I feel like there has to be a lot of luck involved in it, or like some background
network. Like they have
involved in it,
connections.
And those become like model examples which are not true in everyone's case.
So here's an example of copyright issues. To kind of go back to that. In rap and hip hop, as you know, I wanted to make a career out of it, and that's where I was headed. But now I just kind of dabble in it because of what we discovered, that it's like a whole convoluted mess dealing with like leasing beats to rap on top of, and and if you don't do it right, you end up getting sued for more than you've made, and it's like it's not even worth. It's like I can't go and speak my mind on top of a beat that someone else made because I don't sign the paperwork right. And it's not like I'm dealing with a person face to face. It would be cool. I mean, that's really ideally I would know a producer who makes the beats and we share the revenue and we're friends and we have a nice contract between us two that makes sense between us two. But there's like websites out there that have beat licensing websites that have like millions of beats from producers who you can't really reach other than through the website. And
yeah, why would they?
You lease a beat from them and you get it wrong with their lease. And
yeah, why would they take a bet on you when there's millions of people reaching out to them? Yeah.
Well, they I mean, if I lease the beat through the website, then it's mine to use. But the weirder thing is they can lease the same beat a billion times for a billion different songs. But none of those billion artists, they all make a tiny little fraction, and the producer makes a fraction from all of their songs. So I don't know. It's kind of, that seems to me kind of backwards. Like the producer is, I don't know. It's
yeah. I mean, it's
opinion,
like
but
they have to make money to live. It's the same thing. Like if they're trying to sell their creativity the best they can.
Yeah.
You can think about it, but if they're making so many beats, they're probably not making so much money from each beat.
Well, they can too.
They can. Yeah.
I feel like what would be more fair is if they could only sell a beat once.
Yeah.
Like it could be you create a beat and you sell it to someone.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be leasing beats is the weirdest, like, most perverse use of business.
Yeah, but then it's not accessible to a lot of people, so they don't know which song is going to make it, like which it all is like if they're if the people who are making the songs actually have the amount of money they can actually afford to spend so much money to buy a beat, then they would just work with a producer personally and have a contract with them where they can get royalties and all those things. But the thing is, most people can't afford it, is why they go through those websites.
Yeah.
And in that case, they don't really know if that beat is going to make any money except for the amount of money they sold it for. So everyone tries to make so much more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's reasonable. Like people, if they're doing the work, they want to make money, but just how important money is a weird thing.
Yeah.
And how a lot of stories related to pop culture I hear is like they sign them young and then you have to make songs approved by them, so a lot of your creativity gets molded, and at the end it's not really what you think you want it to be, unless you can afford it
to be independent and not with a not with the what's
agency.
A music industry company, not agency. That's in pop. I'll think of it at some point during this conversation. I can't remember what it's called. Company that owns the band or maybe it's, I think, no, because there's agents. Agent finds this company for the artist. Like each artist has an agent.
There's also this thing I heard a lot about is like how like their lifestyle has to be at certain level too. Like all the things they do, even if they're not doing much work. So they might release a song and then they wait like 2 years to release another album or whatever, but they have to maintain that lifestyle for the 2 years, even if they don't have sponsors to give them clothes or advertisings or whatever. So it's like
or they get dropped and sued, and they can't sign another deal with record company is the word I was looking for. They can't sign a deal with another record company until they fulfill that deal. Some people's like great musicians have their careers have been ruined because they like were in a contract for a certain amount of albums and they didn't fulfill that amount of albums, and they just lost their creative inspiration, and they didn't want to put out junk, so they just stopped making music instead of writing about other things. Like also their albums have to be approved by the record company, they have to be vetted. So it's record companies are the
if they know so much about it, why don't they just make the music themselves?
Because they need the face. It's like in politics we have the president who it's really his cabinet that's doing everything, but they need a face for everyone to look at. It's unfortunate. They also have it in so there's K-pop has that, but also they've somehow managed to, it's because of money, they have the money to buy, and they somehow managed to buy out hip-hop, which is originally that was like the ultimate like punk music. Like, I'm not gonna settle for your dollar. I'm gonna do my thing and stand true to myself. And now that's the pop industry in America. It's hip hop. It's so ironic. Like, but they had the money to buy the people that don't have money. And I mean, there's still underground hip hop, but
if given a chance, I would sell up too.
I don't know. I don't think I would. I couldn't.
I would, and then I would regret it.
I mean, if I was young enough and someone came to me and said, "We'll give you $1 million to stop writing about what you're writing about and sing these lyrics," if I was young enough, most people would. My dad raised us on listening to punk rock. So I understood from a very young age that the music industry was crap. So I probably wouldn't have, no matter when they got me. But if I hadn't been raised on that, easy decision.
But
to take $1 million.
I feel like it's easy to say when you're not involved in it, when you cannot. So I'm not like I'm literally not into any music or dance or anything. Like, I mean, I love it. I listen to it a lot, but I don't have any skills because I've never learned anything, and I did not spend so much time when I was young listening to music. Like the music so I grew up in India. So in India, most of the music is movie music that's popular, and so you listen to it when you're watching a movie, and I always skip those parts or like get bored and tired of those parts. I
already told me that.
Like they say, it's easier to say no when you don't really have the opportunity or anything. But if it comes to it, I would probably take it, but I would probably regret it right away. I'm rebellious.
Being stuck in a contract, you wouldn't be happy with that.
But I would probably fulfill it and not sign it again.
the other thing is like once you fulfill that contract and you've put out their music for their amount of time, you can't even go and start talking bad about it because then you get sued. That's in the contracts too. So it's like a lifelong prison sentence.
You hold your
terrible
peace. I feel like you
just have to move on,
make peace with it.
Yeah. Else,
yeah, a lot of I feel like they have basically in most countries, rich people are above law.
I was just about to say.
I know the Constitution says no one is above the law. Even the president is not above the law, but they are all above the law.
Yeah.
They can lobby against whatever. They can lobby towards whatever they want.
I mean, if a poor person decides to do what a rich person is doing in the way that they can do it, like the lengths that they'd have to go to, a poor person would have to go to achieve what the rich people are doing, that is technically should be against the law and really is, they would be like going through so many like loops to the point where like they'd be in like a terrorist prison. Like they'd be terrorists. That is what the rich people are, is terrorists. The ultimate rich. I mean the richest of the rich.
Who you don't know?
But I mean even the ones that we see, like they're the billionaire class. They're doing things that are strangleholding the rest of the world. And
then like throwing some millions, like it's probably like 0.001% of what they have at charities. And get all this PR for it, like everyone talking about it. And I feel like us doing whatever we do in charity is much more than them doing it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it works both ways. Like for a poor person to give a little bit of charity is a big hard thing to do and makes very little ripple or impact. And the small things that the rich people do, since it's big impact, they get praised, but it's not hard for them to do.
It's definitely not hard.
And then the bad things that you do as a poor person, you go to jail for. The bad things that you do as a rich person, you get out of.
You just like buy your way out. It is like so unfair, but there is nothing you can do. You just have to move on. And it's so like disheartening and sometimes like almost giving up kind of energy.
Fighting against money structure.
And you get tired of it. You can't really do it. But people who do it, kudos to them. But it's like so much. There are so many things that are out of, like, there are so many things that any human doesn't know, like, about their existence. But then there are so many things a lot of people, so there is like things you don't know because nobody knows, and there is no way to know like why do we exist. And those are like really great things to find an answer. But there are things like we don't know what happens behind the scenes. A lot of things are like closed door, like whatever decisions they make, we don't know much about it. I don't think those are anything anyone would want to know either.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's interesting. The things that we can know, we wouldn't want to know,
and
the things that we can't know, we would want to know. Would be.
And there's no way to know because they don't really like. How are you going to trust them when it's always against your own interest? No matter what they do.
Yeah.
There is like conflict of interest there.
Yeah. And it's I mean, talking about the billionaire class, obviously there are probably maybe a couple that don't fit that bill of
I used to think like that. There are probably people who are nice up there, but after like this guy Dan Price,
yeah, example.
yeah, that was like so shitty. Uh, I was actually like following him and understanding everything he was saying and was like, oh wow, he has power, but he has money, but he's using it for good. But it's all marketing stink.
Yeah.
Dan Price was kind of like, um, I guess women said women encountered abusive behavior from him and like uh, without consent stuff, and there were articles about it which were, and that's another thing, like there are some really nice journalists who probably care about but it's like so easy to I'm going in like a lot of circles, like in my brain there is like a lot of things that are going on. Like there can be a journalist who's like real, but this is all from pop culture. I feel like I have all these ideas from. I don't really know if there is any person who really cares about people and would go to the extent of risking their life to write articles about these rich and powerful people. But I did see some cases, like in the Jeffrey Epstein case, it was like a really small magazine journalist who, it's like a local journalist who took risky decisions to actually write the articles about them. But yeah, but it's like so easy to flip and like show someone as doing illegal if they're like they don't have any power or money to defend themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're fighting the money structure.
Yeah.
And it unfortunately has the whole world in its grip. But I feel like the only way that we achieve that ideal world that all of our episodes are revolved around talking about achieving, like why talk about this would make things better if you don't want things to get better? So we are revolving around an ideal world. To get there, the only way to do it is if people wake up, and I feel like this helps.
Yeah, a lot.
This is what we can do: sit here and talk.
Yeah, and when you talk, when you talk with someone else, you hear conflicting opinions, and which further improves what you're thinking, or like
progresses the idea. And hopefully one day the money structure can be changed.
But yeah, marketing definitely needs to change. Please find better people. But it's like you even people get into it. I don't understand. And most of it is again to make money. It's like they make YouTube videos saying, "Oh, look at that precious smile. We need to protect them," as if they can protect them.
Oh yeah.
It's like like if someone dies because of whatever reason, there are videos like, "We failed to protect them. We failed to protect them," and I'm like, what are you going to do to protect them? Watch more videos.
Yeah.
It helps, but like, yeah, it's just like everyone is responsible for themselves, and like this heavy fan culture is like stan culture is ridiculous.
Yeah. You've seen the I showed you the where the term stan came from, the Eminem song Stan.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen that music video, watch it. Stan by Eminem.
Mm-hmm. That's
But that's it. Yeah, it's very graphic. Trigger warning.
mm-hmm.
But that is that's it in a nutshell. Like
yeah,
it's
it happens.
it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so little I know
About what?
about a lot of things.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, but so many opinions I have.
Oh yeah. We both have a lot of opinions.
But we know so little.
Yeah. We're not experts at any one thing. Not masters of any one thing. We're
Jack of all
jack of
trades.
all trades. Yeah. Jacks of all trades.
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill of all trades. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. I feel like we
never have a conclusion to any topic, but it's just a conversation.
Yeah, just conversations, and we'll definitely touch on these topics later, especially if there's input from our audience on the comments. But we'll definitely talk about pop culture later and the problems it poses to creativity and creative people.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's something I feel like we didn't get too deep in today because we kind of went all around, but we'll drill into that later sometime. All right. So with that, thank you for watching our evening tea. Hit that thumbs up button if you liked this video, if you want it to get spread further. YouTube loves the thumbs up button, so that's what we will ask of you all. And yeah, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.